Right, hi guys, and welcome back to another video on Bluebeam. Right, so for today we'll be touching on markups, right, on the left here, but specifically we'll be talking about custom markups. Right, so when we talk about custom markups, it can be used, let's say, for a defects list, a punch list, or whatever you call it. It can be used for progress claims when you want to place down notes, or even can be used during your facilities management phase when you need to just indicate some changes or some updates to any space. Right. So let's take a look at some of the sample tool sets that we have. So over here I have a tool set called ceiling issues. Right. So each of these item corresponds to certain commands. So when I hover over the item, you can see that CG stands for clean ceiling grid. Right, now all these tool sets are available for free. These are available on the Bluebeam website, which is over here. Alright, so if you go over to this web page, you'll be able to find all the different available tool sets that Bluebeam has made for you guys, right, which you can actually download and use them directly. Right, so now to go back, at first glance, I may not be able to tell what each of these icons stand for. So you may want to actually click on this settings button and change it to detail. So once you change it to detail, you are able to see what command each item stand for. Right, so now it's a matter of using it. So when I click on it, I can just place it there. Alright, so I'm going to use it by clicking it. Alright, so you also notice that once I place it, there is a second one coming up. This is because I have turned on this reuse button over here under the tools reuse. So what this means is that Bluebeam naturally will assume that I want to reuse every single markup that I'm using. Alright, so you can actually make use of that function to place in multiple markups at one go. Right, so now let's say for example if you want to copy an item, copy paste, and you do not want to use this, right? You have the option of directly changing. Right, so let's say for example under my ceiling issues I want to make an additional item, right, but it's not in my list. Alright, so one way that you can do it is that, okay, so when you click on this and you left click, right, when you hold down your alternate key and let go, you see I am pressing it down right now and I'm letting go, pressing down. So you notice that once I press down, there are additional points here. So at this point, right, I can double click, right, it will allow me to change the wording inside. Alright, so let's say for example I can say instead of CG I can say CA. Okay, CA, press escape. Right now it has changed to CA. However, I need to change the command as well. So if you open up the properties bar, which you can also find by right clicking and clicking properties, you will be able to see this icon over here and it will show here clean ceiling grid. So for example I can say clean ceiling attachment instead. Right, so once done, this item will have changed to reflect clean ceiling attachment. Right, so if I open up my markups list here, it has clearly changed to clean ceiling attachment. Right, so at this point I can also click on the properties toolbar at the top, add to tool chest, and I can select ceiling issues and it will be back here. So I've created an additional. Okay, so this is only recommended if you want to create one by one. Alright, but if you actually want to create your own set, right, there's actually a feature within Bluebeam that allows you to import in an entire list at one go. Right, so what we're going to do now, we are going to go to your tool chest over here. Okay, I'm going to go to manage tool sets and create my own tool set. So I'm going to say renovation defects list, for example. Right, just going to click OK, save. Right, so right now I have my defects list here and right now it is empty. So I can double click it and I'm going to do what you call a punch key import. Right, so let me show you back end what it looks like. Alright, so back end it actually looks like this. Alright, so first few things you have to take note. Your first column will correspond to a subject. Second column is the symbol meaning the wording, and the third column will be the comments. Okay, and you also have to take note this has to be saved as a CSV file. Okay, so when I say CSV file, it has to be saved over here as a CSV. Okay, one last thing you have to take note is the top, the header has to be removed, right? If not, it will be added in as a tool itself, right? So remember to do that. I will save it. Right, so now I'm just going to click punch key import and I'm going to search for the file that I have. Alright, so for example, I'm just going to navigate to my file. As I find it there, open. Right, so once I have it there, right, so I'm just going to navigate to my file. Let me close it. So let's say I go to punch key export. Over here, select the file, open. Right, so the reason it didn't appear just now was because my file was still open. Right, so with this I have them in subject comments over here. Right, so once done, I'm just going to press OK. Okay, it will be at the bottom here. I can choose to push it up by pressing this arrow key. Okay, so if I take a look below all the way at the end, I have created my own defects list with my own symbols. So when I switch it to detail view, I have everything here as well. Alright, so pretty handy. So if you have your current set of notes, common defect descriptions that you always use, it will be a handy tool for you to just import right from your Excel list and then just place it into Bluebeam itself. Now, in terms of usage, right, there are many ways you can use it. You can actually use it on a desktop computer, tablet, just place it there, right? And what you can do also, there is what you call a capture feature. If you are on your iPad's Surface Pro, you can actually use the camera feature to directly take a photo, put it in, or videos as well. Right, if you're from your computer, you can actually upload a file directly in. So let's say if I have a file here, and I say I'm going to place in certain images, I can also place in multiple images. I'll click open, and then they will be stored in this small little icon over here. Alright, now this small little icon, the photos can be further exported out and to a report summary if needed. Okay, so another way of using it is that if you're on your iPad, right, you may want to import this tool chest. You may want to export it out, import it into your iPad for your use on site. And something else you may want to consider is that if you are using your shortcut keys very often. Alright, I covered this in another video, that if you're gonna use certain comments very often, you may want to drag some of your comments. So let's say if I drag this clean ceiling grid here, I'm gonna use chip ceiling tile very often. Once I place it up at the top in this tool set called My Tools, they will gain what you call a shortcut key, a number shortcut key. So let's say if I'm using clean ceiling grid, I just have to press 7. You see it's highlighted and I can use it over and over again. If I switch to 8, it will be highlighted, and if I need to use it, over and over again. Right, so the transfer over to My Tools is just a copy. Alright, so the actual tools themselves will still stay here. So this My Tools can be something that is used on a per chance basis. So if you need to work on ceiling issues for that day, then transfer some over. Delete them wherever they are not necessary. On another day, if you need to do renovation checklist, then go ahead, transfer something else up there. Alright, so I hope these neat little tricks and features have helped you out. Alright, thank you. See you again.